I'm curious. In all my travels to Colombia over the last 5 years, I've been there a dozen times, and I've certainly discovered or found where the roots of this music is. Cumbia specifically, and this period that Marco is talking about is actually for me one of the richest periods of music, not just in Colombia but around the world. But specifically in Colombia, there was this kind of explosion of that big band sound. About, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I found the music of Lucho Bermudez, which I'm sure Marco knows, and you, Elena, probably have heard too. Lucho Bermudez and Pacho Galan. These were sort of the two kind of, for lack of a better comparison, just so some people may not know who they are, and might as well put them in a place that people can understand how important they were. Lucho Bermudez was a kind of admirer of Benny Goodman. Because he was also a clarinetist, and he loved Benny Goodman. And so he once said that he wanted to model the orchestra after his hero, after the guy that he admired, Benny Goodman. But he also had a lot of other stuff going on. Of course, the cumbia sound that he picked up on was the cumbia from this region that's called Montes de Maria, where the music originally comes from that area, Cartagena, Barranquilla region. But the thing that really blew me away is all of these amazing arrangements of this fat, big band sound, with the horns and the percussion, and of course the singers that would do this amazing kind of fun, almost humorous kind of approach to delivering the cumbia. Is that sort of what you were thinking, Marco, when you were thinking of the brass?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And those two band leaders are perfect examples. Their music was instrumental, like literally, like they didn't have any singing on their recordings. And so it was all about just the melodies, the horn lines, and everything. And they were tapping into mambo a lot. They were incorporating a lot of stuff that was happening in Cuba, and that's also a big part of what we're doing. I love mambo. My parents love mambo. I grew up listening to mambo. So like, I love cumbia, I love mambo, and I love jazz too. Mainly Latin jazz by like Dizzy Gillespie and all the the originals and stuff. And so those guys are taking their cues from what's happening in the jazz scene in the United States, what's happening with mambo and stuff in Cuba, and I'm taking my cues from these Colombian bands, but also from where they're taking their cues from. So that's why like I feel like La Misa Negra is pretty deep in terms of like where we're tapping in. We're not just tapping like 20 years ago, to the 80s or whatever, La Sonora Dinamita or something. Like, we're like, our reference point is way before that. You know what I mean? And yeah, and one of the main reasons I wanted to start this band is I wanted to write horn lines. I love brass instruments. And as the band has evolved, and you hear more in the second album versus the first album, like the horn parts are getting like more complex, faster. The playing is fast. It's challenging to play a lot of the stuff that we play in the band for everyone in the band. Percussion because it's super fast, and the horn lines because it's line after line after line is not easy. You can't just pick up a trumpet and start playing some of these songs tomorrow. You know what I mean? So yeah, those guys are huge inspiration. Pacho Galan is one of the top 3 artists that inspire like La Misa Negra sound, along with Pedro Laza and Los Corraleros de Majagual. Those 3 artists would be like, yeah.
We're talking tall order.
Yeah, Los Corraleros de Majagual, that's like the Yardbirds for cumbia, in the sense that Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page came
That's
from
where they
Yardbirds,
come from.
right? And Corraleros, that's where Aniceto Molina came from. That's
Fruco.
where, yeah. And exactly. And so like so many legends came
Alfredo
from
Gutierrez, the
that one
accordion
band.
player.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that's our reference point for what for like the inspiration for La Misa Negra.
great.